Welcome back to the Talltale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast that also does campaigns. I am your tavern master and host, Kyle, and we are back for Chapter 8 of Expedition Untold and the continuation of Hugh's story. Joining me at the bar tonight, when Hugh was young, he befriended fire and sun, and reading books was just for fun. Those days are gone. All by himself. Hugh doesn't want to be all by himself anymore. Too bad, Hugh. You're all by yourself. Welcome back, Becca.
Start my intro with a gasp. That was beautiful. It kind of makes up for the emotional damage. Kind of.
Kind of. A little bit.
A little bit.
It's just you and me. It's just
us.
you and me.
Yeah,
and,
just hanging out tonight.
Just hanging out, you, me, and Ben Biofuel. What a wonderful thing. I think we should just get going and jump right in and see what's in store for our friend Hugh in this dark,
what could
strange
go wrong?
New world. So let's reopen that book, turn to Chapter 8, and continue the story of Expedition Untold. Roll the intro!
Previously on Expedition Untold. It was just a book club. I was with my friends. A red ooze attacked a shard of reality, and the barkeeper sent us into the stories to protect us. At least I think he was trying to protect us. But the red ooze is corrupting everything. The stories, our memories, our reality. We were able to save Zoonopia by removing the ooze from Toad, and we followed it through a portal. It made us relive our memories, tried to change them. Then it took us to the Maleficent Seven, where the red ooze had caused a horrible disease and had taken over Ella McCoy. Everything seemed so good when we left Zoonopia that I thought it would be like that again. But I was wrong. We completed our mission and defeated Ella, and the ooze ran away through a portal again. Before we left, Nambi just wanted to make sure people were going to be taken care of. She was doing such a great job standing up for herself. But I think her magic got away from her, and she hurt someone really badly. Amtiro was so upset, and Nambi looked so scared, I didn't know what to do to protect them. The portal waited, and I didn't want to go through, but we knew we couldn't stay. So we took each other's hands, and we stepped through, together. I saw memories again, but it felt different. I stepped out into what I think is crowning AI achievement. I'm alone. Everything is so overwhelming here. The lights are too harsh, the buildings are too tall, and the air is too thick. Where are my friends? Amtiro promised, we'll face it together, Huguenard. But my friends are gone. I don't know what I did wrong.
Hugh, you stand on an unfamiliar street. In an unfamiliar world filled with skyscrapers, lights, holograms, and machines all around you. Amidst all the unfamiliarity is a familiar face, a character you've heard stories of before, a bald, muscular man standing tall with a tight white tank top on, an unbuttoned gray mechanic shirt with a name tag stitched onto it, and a hand reaching out to you. I'm Ben. I know somewhere safe. You take his hand and he transforms into a fully electric Prius, shaping around you until you find yourself sitting on the front seat, and he takes off into the night. As you drive through the windows, you see tall buildings pass, thousands of lights, screens, sounds, all unfamiliar to you. But what is Hugh thinking and feeling during this?
I think his mind is just buzzing with the overstimulus of the environment. Frantically trying to rack his brain, thinking about what he did wrong when he went through the portal, and now just trying to get his eyes to adjust to something so different from the forest he grew up in.
You kind of look down and kind of rest your head into your hands, and just like in the Maleficent 7 story, when you had entered, you were suddenly in cowboy attire, Old West attire, and you notice that you are in a setting cohesive outfit as well, and maybe have a new augment as well. What does Hugh notice as he kind of looks down?
Yeah, he looks down and he notices he's got some very like utility leather pants, lots of studs in there, but they're also like the strips of leather are broken up to accommodate his hydraulic jack legs that he now has. There's like metal peeking out. Everything is honed and just looks extra strong, like he could jump super far.
Cool. As you look back out the window, you see advertisements change on billboards and large hologram images kind of as advertisements go as you drive along the cityscape, and you can tell through glints of light that you are being scanned and the ads are changing, being tailored to you specifically. What ads would show up for Hugh as you travel through the city?
I think the ones that would definitely come up were like any sort of like ads for stories that are coming out about like the latest like romance. So it would be something to do with like, I don't know if there's movies in this world or not. You see like this romance novel that you recognize as a novel, and all of a sudden it comes to life in like moving pictures, which is just, you've seen magic before, but this seems different. Like you're watching the whole entire scene, and you can see that this book is that you have recognized before is now a movie, and that advertisement is hitting you, and it's all just so wondrous and strange and weird. Ben picks up speed and starts darting in and out of traffic. He takes a turn down a narrow side street and then suddenly makes a hard left turn, drifting towards a large closed garage door. Just before impact, the car passes through the false hologram door and stops. He transforms, standing next to you, and what you see is an open garage with a large table set up in the middle, covered in paper, diagrams, plans, and Ben looks at you and says, "Welcome to our makeshift home. Before we go any farther, I need you to know that you can walk away right now, back to the street, to the world outside, or I can show you around, introduce you to some of the people here, and you can stay a while. If you do that, you just know you can never speak of this place or the people in here or the things you see ever again. Your decision." I have nowhere to go.
Well, let's take you around and introduce you to some people. And he takes your hand and walks around this big open area. You can see that there are kind of areas that have been sectioned off, almost like different workspaces in here. And you walk over to an area where you see a tall, skinny, pale skin human with bright green eyes. And he's reading a book. "Lad, will you join the table, please?"
Landy!
Welcome, Landy. Landy, aka Lad. Landy, can you introduce your character? Tell us what he is looking like and doing at this moment.
So Lad is in kind of a nondescript room. It's got a pallet and a little desk with a stack of random books that he's picked up around New Lisbon City. He's got, again, pale skin, green eyes, dark, kind of messy long hair. He's got his heavy armor over in the corner, but he's just sitting there in kind of plain clothes. So when he sees Ben walk in with Hugh, he puts his book down and stands up and extends his hand.
This is Lad here. I'm sorry, I introduce myself, but I guess I don't know your name. I need looking at you, Hugh. Ben is.
Hugh pauses for a second and then tries to channel his inner Mtiro. I'm Huguenard Rockbridge. People call me Hugh.
Well, welcome.
Good to meet you, Hugh. I'm Lad.
Hi.
Ben leads you around the area, and you walk up to a girl with lots of cybernetics on her face. And she looks very fatigued, and she is sitting and she is fiddling with, working on what looks to be some sort of small metal device. And you see a tool bag next to her with the name Dasher written on the side. Vyper, will you please join the table?
Hey, Ballistikitty!
Hello.
Welcome, Ballistikitty. Ballistikitty, will you please introduce your character and what she looks like, what she's doing?
Yeah, so her hair is short and messy, shaved closely on both sides. She looks a bit rougher around the edges than 6 weeks ago. Her new outfit is kind of tore up jacket and a black halter top, and kind of same as you, Hugh, got the utility pants because they're always gonna get dirty and tore up. But yeah, she's very tired. She's been working on this device for a while now. It's kind of out of her usual, skill set. She's using Dasher's stuff. She clocks you come in and isn't too concerned with a new face being in the room. So she's like, "Hey, what's up, Vyper?"
Hi, Miss Vyper. I'm Hugh.
Staying with us now? You lose your family?
Yeah.
So did all of us. You'll be fine here.
Ben leads you further around the edge of the garage to the kind of last place in this garage. You see a big cybernetic electric bike up on a stand on a lift, and beneath it a shirtless man covered in tattoos working on this bike. And he says, "Brother, Paolo, we got somebody new." And Paolo, will you please join the table?
Hello.
Mav, welcome Mav back to your original world.
I could be seeing it from the other end.
Will you please introduce Paolo to Hugh and give us what your character looks like and what he's up to?
Sure. Paolo is shirtless. He's wearing a pair of digital camo pants over some black motorcycle boots, and you can see he's been working hard on this bike up on a lift. There's sweat trickling down his back. His back and his chest are covered in tattoos. Some of them are of dragon motifs and kind of other prison tats. And you see actually where both of his arms would have been are two metal cybernetic arm replacements. And where the tattoos meet on his skin meet the metal, spray paint graffiti takes over and continues the tattoos down his arms as if it was all one piece. And you notice in the low kind of gritty light of the garage that the paint on his arms glows. But you notice around him there's a table with a number of pieces of equipment, not just geared to work on vehicles, but weapons. And he's got a glass of beer and a synth cigarette smoking lying right next to him. And he kind of turns from the bike and gives Ben Biofuel an eyebrow, "You bring another lost puppy here, huh? How many is this now, Ben?"
I don't know. I got a feeling about this one. I think he's been without a family for a while, and we're all about family here.
At that, Paolo, he picks up the synth cig and takes a draw and kind of shrugs and he goes, "That's fair." And as he comes around the bike to see Hugh for the first time, he goes, "Whoa! Where did you pick him up? He fit inside you, Ben? You've been working out." So Paolo shoves a hand out to Hugh to shake. And as strong as Hugh is, the grip that he gives is vice-like. And if Hugh is paying attention, the figure that Paolo cuts is a little different than he might remember from the book. He looks leaner. He looks like there's an edge to his jaw. He looks not malnourished, but thinner and hungrier than he was described in the book.
Nice to meet you, sir. But I didn't lose my family a while ago. It just happened. Maybe you guys have seen them. Harangan, she's so beautiful inside and out, and a fire genasi that just lights up every space that he walks into. I was with them and we got separated, and I'm scared that they're lost somewhere here. Have you guys seen them?
At this story, Paolo looks at Ben and is like, is he on some of the good stuff? Like, I know I got my stash, and I don't have anything that makes me dream like that.
Lad, does he look like he's on some of those drugs that you've been trying to clean up on this city?
Hugh tries to help and opens his eyes really wide so that Lad can get a really good look.
Yeah, Lad pulls out a little flashlight from his pocket and shines it up at Hugh's eyes and...
Do a medicine check.
Paolo's looking around, Lad, like, I've never seen Wave give hallucinations like that.
No, I promise I'm not
23.
on anything.
23. Yes, you can tell that, you go and inspect Hugh, and Hugh is a half-troll, big green guy, ears, big troll, half-troll ears. And this is not necessarily unusual to you in this world, and so the notes of, different augments that people do to their bodies, this is just, Hugh, you don't really feel like they are judging you based on your appearance, but he does a very good look. Lad, you do a very good look at Hugh, and you don't sense any sort of drug impairment or anything along for Hugh.
He's got some really unusual cybernetics, but he's not on anything.
Paolo kind of looks at him out of the corner of his eye, like, I buy this because Lad is my boy and I trust him. Hugh, look, if you're looking for your family, we can be one in the meantime, but we're working on something. If you're going to pal around with us, we're going to need your help.
I don't know anything about any of this stuff. When I read your guys' story, I didn't understand half of the words in it.
He's big enough, he'll be fine, right?
Are you sure, Paolo?
I mean, we don't have anything to knock down walls anymore ever since Dasher went poof. This guy looks like he could take down a car all by himself.
Hugh, to answer your question about other people, I was standing there on the street, and I saw you step out of nowhere. It was like you stepped out of nothing. And then you were there on the street, alone. There's a lot of people in this city, and something about you, I haven't seen anybody else like you around.
So I'm not supposed to be here.
Well, hey, none of us are supposed to be here. We were living in Lisbon City 6 weeks ago, and then, the AIs took over and killed half the populace, and we ran, so... I left my gang back there, my boys, and you can see, like, there's, like, a clench to his jaw as he says that, like he's not happy about admitting this.
What happened to Dasher? See his bag over there.
You gotta talk to Vyper. I couldn't see it in the net.
I don't remember any details really specifically about what happened. Whenever I try, it gives me a splitting headache. So what I do remember is going into the system and then coming out and everything was wrong. I woke up somewhere completely different. And I had a Lad and Paolo with me, and Ben was also there as well. But then AI was everywhere.
It was chaos. I was close to Dasher, and he... details are fuzzy for me too, but he told me once he had a something in his head that would detonate if a code word was said, and I don't know who said it, I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden Dasher was gone. And it was chaos after that.
I'm telling you, man, it was the fucking AIs. It had to be. He lives, what, 20 years? Nobody guesses that code word? All of a sudden, pop? No way, man.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. How do they get in his head? You know, how do they know? How do they know the word? He's had it forever. He's heard hundreds, thousands of words.
Could be something in the ad system, how they know what kind of ads work best for you. Had to have gotten into his system somehow. Something.
He had good firewalls, he had good ice. We know that. I mean, you set it up for him, Vyper.
Do you remember anything that was the color red?
Bad. No.
Oh.
No.
Kyle, can I, Hugh's gonna frantically search around this room too for any red in it.
Go ahead. Go ahead and do a, you can do a perception check right now to like just get a general area, a view of the area.
It's only a 12.
12. You do a glance. I mean, there's like some normal reds around the room, you know, some blinking lights around, but there's nothing that's like obviously, you know, a red item or a bright, you know, a red jar of ooze or anything, you know, sitting out. And so
there's not a jar of ooze just sitting
yes,
around.
yes.
Damn.
How inconvenient.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of ideas. All right. I'm really sorry you lost your friend.
And memories.
Why do you ask about the color red?
Well, okay. I promise I'm not on drugs. I have a kind of a pretty long story. Gosh, Tira would be so much better at saying this. Okay, so I was at a book club with my friends, and we were in the middle of picking these really good books. I have them actually in my bag if you ever want to read them. I didn't get a chance to set them down before this huge red ooze attacked the tavern that I was in, and it latched onto something called a shard of reality. And the barkeeper there is evidently super strong, and we didn't know it. And I think in order to protect us, he sent us into all the books that were at the tavern. Oh, because, yeah, at this tavern, there's a lot of books. And they're all books made out of stories that people have told, including your story. But I didn't actually hear who told your story. The book just was kind of there, and then I read it, and so I've heard of you guys before. But like I said, there were a lot of words in that book that I did not understand what they were talking about. But he sent us into these stories, and every time we get there, there's red, and red signals the bad, because the red ooze has corrupted the stories and ruined it. Like in your guys' story, Dasher doesn't die; he's fine. You guys beat the AI, I think. Although that there was some confusion at the end about whether Vyper's sister was okay. But you guys, I think, won. Your story's not supposed to be this way, so I think there's got to be some red here that's ruining it. But my friends are a lot smarter than me, so that's all, I think.
You cannot believe in yourself.
Amazing.
Oh. I suddenly feel a lot more confident.
You hear the voice of Tiro through the in your head, encouraging you as you tell that story.
That's not the craziest story I've heard. And it seemed pretty straightforward, you put it like that.
So we won in that story. We stopped the AI from getting out, and it would be great if that was what happened, but what happened here is Hihachi got out.
Aren't you telling me that there's a way to go back, though?
Well, we don't really know if we think things are getting kind of reset after we fixed them. But yeah, here, and then Hugh pulls out his journal from his hip and flips to, how far into the journal would that be? So Crowning AI Achievement was approximately released in March, so that would be about 3/4 of the way through his journal. He flips to it, and you see a page for each of your characters of sketches of you guys at various points in the story. And he points at it and he goes, yeah, you guys, so this has happened in 2 other stories so far, and after we've been able to kind of fight the red ooze out of whatever it's infecting, so maybe this AI thing, that it always slinks off and it creates these portals, and then when we go through the portals, and then it beats the crap out of us in the portals, and then usually, well, I guess that there's only been one other time we came out together, and then this time I came out alone.
Well, Hugh, I don't know. I can't make sense of any of that. That's a lot.
Sounds like a crazy video game system. I
don't know what that means, but
well,
yeah.
let me tell you what's going on here. What Paolo has asked you to be a part of. I don't ever want to make you feel like you have to do this, because what we're doing is dangerous, and that's putting it lightly. We have a plan to re-infiltrate New Lisbon City and deliver a virus. And he looks over at Vyper and kind of nods his head. A virus that can take out Hihachi. And we are leaving tomorrow morning for this plan to take place. And yeah, to put it lightly, we're not sure how far we're gonna make it on our own. If this has been something that you've helped with before, if we come in contact with this red slime or evil entity and you know how to deal with it, then Hugh, I think we may need you. But I can't ask you to do something that's this dangerous. This is your life will be at risk, and that's putting it very lightly.
Can you fight, Hugh?
Yeah, I swing a hammer made out of bone. Pretty good at that. It's really, I mean, my friends they were the ones that were able to get the ooze out before much better than me, but I don't really have much of a life to maintain, so I gotta try something.
Hey, you know, I fight for these guys, because these are my family now. I do anything for them. You know, I fight not for me, but for them. I fight for my boys lost back in Lisbon City. If you can fight, you want to fight for yours. You want to get back to them. I think this is the only way. You come with us.
Okay.
So while Hugh was telling that story, Paolo leans over to Lad and is like, "This isn't a side effect of the withdrawal, right? Like that, like this is happening. Like all this is happening. The stuff she's saying is real."
I don't know if it's real, but it's happening.
Okay. And he's like, he shakes his head. He's like, okay.
Lad, who has been assisting in Paolo coming clean off the drugs, is gonna do an insight check to see if he still is. That's gonna be a 25.
He's in withdrawal. He's not high. He's like at the end of like a withdrawal from drugs. So he may be like at the tail end of it, you know.
Rough.
But yeah, he's feeling rough. Like he's not all that sweat is from working.
And Lad just kind of pats him on the back and says, "I'm proud of you."
Hands him a water. This will make it better.
What do you have any cybernetics, any augments, any, you know what those are? Perhaps.
Well, I noticed some extra metal in my legs. That's new. That wasn't there before. I'm kind of grossed out by it, to be honest, and I'm trying to not think too much about what they do. But
those are hydraulic jacks. I've got a pair also, and I point down at my legs.
If you want to know more specifically about them, I could identify them for you. I could take a look.
Okay.
I reach over and I just like touch the metal part of your leg.
You immediately blushes.
Your leg muscles and tendons are replaced with machines powered by hydraulics, which can adjust to swift movements and sudden falls. Your movement speed increases by 15 and your jump distance is tripled. When you fall, you can use your reaction to take no damage from falling. Making a standing long jump no longer reduces the distance you can jump. So you can just stand still and then jump, like just wing, flea jump.
Yeah, I'm just going to do that instead of walking everywhere. I'm just going to, because I can actually just stand still, jump further than I can walk, I think. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to just do now.
There's still more to this. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. When you use your reaction to take no damage from falling, you can make a special attack with your legs against a target within 5 feet of you. If the attack hits, it deals its normal damage plus 1d6. For every 10 feet you fell, you can't use this ability again until you finish a short or long rest.
Death from above, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's extra crazy considering you can now teleport too.
That could be useful. Well, Hugh, thanks for joining us. I mean, we're a family here. You're part of that family now. We ride together. Tomorrow, he gestures to the table. I can walk you over here. We can show you the plans and what our plans are and how this is all going to go down. And he walks over, and you guys kind of surround this big table in the middle of the garage with this light, shining down at all these papers, and he starts off. So first thing in the morning, we're going to be taking a high-speed bullet train to the district of Setúbal. That's the closest to New Lisbon City any transportation is going to be willing to take us. And when we get there, I'll drive us to South Lisbon. It's an old desolate city that's where the AI patrol, but that area was deserted as soon as the event happened 6 weeks ago and New Lisbon City went into chaos. Once we're there, I can get us close enough to the bridge that takes us over the water to get into New Lisbon City. The Tagus Estuary is a large entrance of the river that pours into this water, and this is Lisbon City, the area. This is like Portugal-esque area on Earth. This is where the setting is. He continues, once we're there, then we need to cross the bridge to get into the city. That's where we're gonna meet up with one of Paolo's old contacts.
My man Mouse. Matter of fact, he's due for communication, And he checks up, like he looks up toward his area of the hideout, and there's a little like vent that's open, kind of up north, like at the top near the roof, with a nesting box and like a perch for a bird. And so he kind of looks up there and doesn't see any birds there, and he's like, he's maybe a little late this year, this week. But we're expecting some more communication from Mouse. He's my contact inside the city. We don't use electronic communication. We only use the oldest of styles, homing birds. Yeah, they carry messages, right? Pretty smart.
And diseases.
Man, listen, the bird is fine, okay? It doesn't come in your area. It stays in my area. It's fine.
You have a friend who's a mouse?
His name is Mouse. He's not a mouse. I mean, he like uses a mouse and stuff, but like no, he's a guy. He's just a guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a good guy.
He's part of the resistance inside New Lisbon City. Supposedly, there's a group of humans fighting back against the AI. They're the ones that will be able to take us in. They'll detonate an EMP once we get there to bring us into their ranks, and then show us how to get to the core of the AI to deliver the virus that Vyper's developed.
And my boys are in there, man. They're fighting. They got me out of prison. They can get me into Lisbon City and get us all in. It'll be good. We could depend on them.
What do you think, Hugh? You still in?
Yeah. Do you mind, though, on the way out, if we stop by, I think it's called the Hotel Tango? there was, when I stepped out of the portal, I was a little overwhelmed, and there was this nice woman, I think, that was trying to be helpful, and I was a little rude to her, and I just wanted to apologize because it wasn't anything she did. It was just a lot going on.
Yeah, Hugh.
Is that on the way?
You don't need to worry about her. That was what we call a computer program designed to suit your needs. And she's just looking for money. I would stay away.
Oh, I don't have any of that. Okay.
Hey, Hugh, why don't you come over here? We'll clear out some of Dasher's old stuff. You can have his bunk. And Paolo heads over into Dasher's area and kind of starts shoving explosive detonator cores and blasting caps and boxes of plastic explosives just against the wall away from a little cot.
Delicately, please.
Way too small for you, but it's something.
Are you sure? I mean, it took me a long time to be okay with them moving Rivers stuff. I can just sleep on the floor. I actually did it a couple nights ago in between my friends' beds at an inn. It was really nice. I'm good just on the floor.
I mean, listen, man, it's up to you. If Dasher were here, he would want you to use it. We checked it. It's mostly not booby trapped. It's probably fine, but you look like a big guy. If there's a little, fireworks or something, you'd be probably okay. And he kind of smiles yeah, it'll be fine.
I very gingerly sit down on the much too small for me cot, doing that thing where when dads are trying to be supportive of their kids, sitting down on the play chair for tea time. That's what it looks like. It's just a very, very oversized person. Oh, Kyle, with my cool new legs, am I now officially 8 feet tall? Did I make it that last half an inch?
Yes, you did. You get a half inch from your legs. From your cybernetic legs, you get a half inch.
Finally as tall as my sister.
Excellent. Ben says, all right, let's all rest up. We got a big day tomorrow. And he walks over to the garage side, where your cybernetic bike is, Paolo, that you've been working on. And he just kind of lays down in a corner on a cot, just surrounded by just metal parts. And just lays his head down. What do you guys do with the rest of the evening as you go to sleep? Anything specific before going to bed?
Hugh is going to draw a picture in his journal, and it is a picture of him, Nambi, and Mtiro at their book club, specifically when Mtiro was pitching his book idea. And Nambi and Hugh are just in rapture, looking up at him, so happy. And then tears the picture out and thinks of Mtiro's nightly ritual and burns it, sending it up into the air.
Anybody else have a routine they do at night? Anything that your character does before drifting off to sleep?
Question. Trying to make sending more of a this world kind of thing rather than a magical thing. Would it be more of a telephone call, just a chip in your head kind of thing?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's like a chip that you have. You have the ability to send a long distance message to anyone that you're familiar with, and it's a special chip that you would have. That's how I imagined it.
Would mine possibly be damaged, or would just AI being out there be causing an issue?
You know that communication into the city has been basically impossible. It's the entire tech system inside New Lisbon City was shut down, and the firewalls had been put up that were deep firewalls that nobody's been able to break or get into. That the city is isolated. The other cities in this world are run by other corporations, essentially. Governments exist, but they're small and they're puny. They don't really have much power. All the power is in these massive corporations, who 6 weeks ago witnessed an implosion of the system in New Lisbon City and saw that Hihachi, one of their own tech AI programs, took over. And so most of the world really views this as an opportunity to fill the void that company had to gain more profit. And the world has basically left this area alone. Left it alone to see what happens. They don't want to go in and expose their own tech, because if their own tech gets corrupted, then that could cause an infection in their system, essentially, that would, could take over their system. And so the world is basically keeping a distance from New Lisbon City, and if there are humans left in there, from their perspective, the humans are on their own against the AI. And communication is near impossible except for very small instances, such as Paolo's contact mouse being able to send a message through, organic tissue, a real life bird, to him. And so that's the limitation of being able to send a message. You wouldn't be, that spell would, that spell would not work to get into the city.
Okay. I think regardless of it not working, I still try. I think I try every night just to see if I get a response.
Who are you trying to contact?
I'm trying to contact my sister Lorelei to see where she is. Is she alive? Like,
give me an Arcana roll.
Oh boy. Oh boy. First roll. Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh, it landed on the B, and that's a natural 20.
Nat 20?
That's a nat 20.
Amazing.
First of the night. Let's go.
Great.
You
have tried this
strong.
like every night and just gotten static. You send a message every night and it's just not working. And finally, the night before you head out on this trip, you send a message and don't hear the static. It finally goes through. What's your sending message that you send? You have, how many words do you have?
I have 25.
25 words. So what's your message that you are sending to your sister?
Hey, it's me. Trying again after 6 weeks now. Just want to know if you're okay. Where can I find you? Hope you're okay.
You hear her voice back. I'm okay. I'm with the resistance. We're ready for you. Tomorrow. We're ready. Period. I love you too.
Okay. She doesn't want anyone else to know, but she just has just a silent tear. It's just rolling down her face. As she's sitting up in her hammock that's stretched across those hydraulic car lift things, so stretched across the top, and that's her little place. She just kind of keeps that to herself as she dozes off.
Amazing. Anyone else with a bedtime routine? Anything else at the end of the night?
I think Lad probably walks around to say goodnight to everyone, kind of in a wholesome
That's
way.
so cute.
Yeah, so he's used to checking on Paolo before he goes to bed, but he swings around and says goodnight to everyone else also.
So when Lad walks by Paolo's little part of his little bay, it's like, hey man, no guy. It sounds like he's got some books. You should check it out, man. Maybe you can trade for something. I know you're always reading that tired old paperback. Get some new stuff.
I've been thinking that myself.
How far away are you guys? Because as soon as I hear the term books, he would be like,
You hear it. You overhear it. Yeah.
Do you want something
Paolo's
to read?
loud, so. Yeah, I would love a book. I can trade you for one of mine.
I have 2 books that I think you'll love. Okay, so the first one is called Power Word Friendship, and then the other one is called A Treasure Greater Than Gold. I've only gotten to read the first chapter of both, but they just feel amazing. So one of them is about how a group of friends get together to host a poetry reading night to save a local bookstore. And then I flip in my journal to the page that I drew of M. Tiro as the main character in that book that I showed them on the last night of the book club. And And then A Treasure Greater Than Gold, it's about pirates in search of real treasure, but then they find out that actually the real treasure that's more valuable is like the friendship they make along the way. And then I flip to the page of Nambi swinging over the pit of alligators that I drew of her after I read that first chapter. You can honestly have both if you want. I can just get more. Oh, I guess I don't know if the lending cart actually still exists. I don't even know if my parents are okay. Well, you can still have them. I don't really have much time for reading right now anyways.
That sounds very wholesome. And Lad grabs a book of about bombs and explosives and hands it as trade.
Yeah, I was done with that one anyways.
It's one of Dasher's old books. Thought you might like it.
Yeah, I'll read that tonight.
I honestly don't think that he could read, but he had it anyway.
He really liked the pictures, man. He was good with diagrams. All the electronic components to a bomb knew it back to front, man. But the words.
That makes a lot of sense.
He always was asking me like, hey, how do you measure like gunpowder? And I was like, this is something maybe you should know before you start compiling like pipe bombs and stuff. But he never blew himself up. He was 100 for 100, batting 100.
Very visual learner. Yeah.
When you guys said pictures, I imagined it literally just being like a sketch of a little explosion, just like over and over again.
Anything else for this evening?
Yeah, as kind of Lad and Hugh walk off to discuss books, Paolo kind of watches them leave, and sets out his his bag, his like kit that he's preparing for tomorrow, and he's set out his mil-spec micro SMG and his katana that he stole from the street samurai that was murdered at the Technomancer club by a crowd of dancers, and he sets out his like plated armored vest and his magazines, and he starts making sure they're all in a place like they can he can put them on tomorrow first thing, and then kind of making sure that the coast is clear. He piles a bunch of amp and Valhalla and grind and nightlight ampules into his bag in like a secret compartment, and stashes it away under his work table. And then he kind of grabs a washcloth that's like hanging over a utility sink, like wipes himself down a little bit, and then settles into on his cot.
Great. As you all drift off into sleep and slumber before this big day tomorrow, and wake up in the morning, and you quickly get ready and leave. Paolo, you go and check the area where the bird flies in, and you don't see a note there. There is nothing in that spot this morning. Do you make anything of that?
No. This was always the plan. If we were to call it off, he would let us know if something catastrophic had happened, but no, the mission is the mission. We're a go.
Okay.
Is there any food at this place, at this hideaway?
You gotta ask Lad, man. He's the cook. Lad cooks for everybody.
Is there any like ingredients in the kitchen?
I think Lad probably has like one of those eternal stews that just like sits there on a hot plate, and he periodically puts more ingredients in, and people just kind of grab it as they need it.
You
see kind of this. Yeah, so you see like a bunch of random bowls sitting next to this giant pot of just steaming liquid.
What am I gonna make? Okay, I got it. So Hugh kind of walks over to you guys and goes, I hope you don't mind. I don't know whose stew that was. It smells delicious. But I used the top of it with the steam. You can actually make really good dumplings with the steam of other soups and broths and things like that. So last night I made these little dumplings, and they help give just like a little extra health. And then I hand out these like kind of wet, I just realized, steamed dumplings to all of you, which is part of my chef's feature that I got. So now you guys can eat them now and get the 3 temp HP just to like have it. Or you can also save it and as a bonus action, eat it to gain 3 temp HP. It might be worth it just to have it now.
I was going to say, how long does temp HP last? Until it's...
I think it's just until the next long rest, usually.
Okay.
Or until you like use it up. But yeah, because I know the dumpling itself, the food lasts 8 hours, so you don't have to eat it right away. But it's also kind of just worth it it'll reset at the next long rest anyways.
Now that's straight down Paolo's gullet. He's like immediately in his mouth, and he's like, "Man, this is good. You got a cookbook? Hey lad, if he's got a cookbook, you should grab that from him, man. This is good."
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
lad pops it.
Yeah.
I don't have a book for it or anything. I kind of just wing it.
Congratulations, you're the new cook.
Vyper takes a small bite and then just like takes another small bite and just like savors like each bite, because like this is probably the best thing she's had in a very long time, and she wants to make it last as long as possible.
I just realized I have 7 of them to hand out. So watching like who makes the best nummy faces, and this is me as a baker, knowing that I like hone in on this so much. I feel like Vyper sounds like she had a very good nummy face. Who else had a very good? Because I have 2 extra now.
Ben does not prefer dumplings. He prefers mostly good batteries, things like that have a little shock to them, a little bit of electricity. And so the mushy dumplings, not his style, but he does eat it.
All right, Lad or Paolo, who has the best yummy face?
Do you guys want to roll for performance to see who does the best yummy face as you guys eat a dumpling and see that she's got, a couple left? Yeah, what's it?
I have 1 left, so Vyper got another one. So Vyper, you have...
you do roll for performance.
Don't eat the second one because temp HP doesn't stack, so just keep that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I got a 10.
So my running streak on Talltale Tavern, I always roll well for shit that doesn't matter. I got a 20.
A natural 20?
It wasn't natural. It was a 19, but it's a 20.
Great.
All right, you get the extra dumpling. So, but yeah, don't eat the second one until you use up those other temp HP.
Deal.
So I have an extra one, you said, that I just hold on to.
Yeah.
Yep, hold on to.
And it's just a bonus action to eat it if in the fray of things.
Where do I want to put this?
Was our rest, Kyle, a long rest?
Long rest, yes.
All right, so I gain a heroic inspiration because I have the resourceful feat.
Is that a 2020? That's a 2024 feat, isn't it?
It is.
No?
It
okay.
is.
So what was it,
Tell
Matt?
us about your heroic inspiration that you get.
Well, I think he Paolo bounces off the bed. He's like finally ready to this mission has been weeks in the making. He's got this like pit in his stomach he hasn't been able to shake because he left his boys in the city behind. He's a leader without a troop. Like he's the leader of this, biker gang in the city, and left all of his crew behind and knows they've been fighting the AI since he left. So he like can't wait to get back. Cannot wait to leap into the fight. And he's been preparing for this, and he knows that he's going to be tempted to use every and any resource he has, including things that might hurt himself, to accomplish his objective. But he's willing to do it. He's committed. So that's the source of his heroic inspiration. He wakes up like, the day is finally here. Let's do this.
And that works as like a DM's inspiration. Like you can re-roll a D20 check with that, which is pretty cool. So great, you guys all finish off your breakfasts and get ready and head out. And you get to the high-speed bullet train, and you take that train to the district of Setubal from the city that you were in. You were in Almudena. Almudena was the name of this city as the waters rose in the world and forced population more north. The more African population came up, southern population came up and really took over the city of Madrid and renamed it Almudena, which was a historic name for Madrid. And so you take this high-speed bullet train out of Almudena to the district of Setubal, the closest to New Lisbon City that you can get. And you arrive and you go to the street and you await Ben to transform into a Prius for you all to pile in. And he says, I've been meaning to tell you all, I got some upgrades. Just finished up. A little more space, a little more family friendly. And he transforms into a large electric Hummer. And through the stereo, you can hear his voice, Vintage 2024. Also got a new stereo. I can actually talk to you all now. And so you all pile into the Hummer and take the highway out of the city north toward South Lisbon. This highway is barren. Nobody else is going this way. As you leave the city, you pass some massive warehouses on the sides of the road that serve as these big supply factories that create, organic food for the populations. This is like the rural area of this world. And you look up and see the sky that's just perpetually clouded with smog, even in this area where you're outside of the city technically. And you drive for a while and eventually you approach South Lisbon, an area that was previously inhabited by lower income people supporting the grand city of New Lisbon across the Tagus estuary. To the elite, the city was seen as a leech, attached to the grand metropolis across the bay, and what you now see is basically desolation. Once Hihachi took control of New Lisbon, the people in this area fled. Ben slows to a stop. Paolo, looks like Mouse was right. I don't see any AI patrols out this far. Anyone see anything? And everyone roll perception. Mav, do you have a dice tower? Was that yours?
I do.
Nice. We can, Mav, what was your roll for your perception?
I got a 9, which I can explain by Paolo looking around going, man, I grew up here. No one ever gave a shit about this place before. Why would they give a shit about it now? And you can see he's kind of thinking back about what it was like to grow up here and how awful it was.
Hugh, what was your roll?
17.
And Vyper?
17.
And Lad?
13 for me.
13. Hugh and Vyper, you guys, you two look out and see your eyes kind of look in the same direction, and pretty far away, very far away. You feel pretty safe from your position, but you see a mechanical tentacled figure kind of moving across the top of a building. It looks like it's like a humanoid form that has these tentacles coming off of it, and that's basically what you can see from this distance. You can see it crawling. It has a large red light on its head, basically, that's kind of shining forward as you're seeing it kind of move across the tops of a building really far away.
Is that normal for here, or is that what is that thing?
That, and Vyper points at it and also gets everyone else's attention to see it as well, is an attack sentry. That is one of the AI that we will be bringing down so that we can get by.
Are there a lot of them?
Too
There
many?
should be one per guard station if our intel is correct.
Oh,
There should also be another one inside as well.
Now that Vyper and Hugh have pointed this lone drone soldier out, can we see if it's along our path? Do we need to circumvent its patrol route?
Nope, it's moving away. And you ask Ben that question. No, we're close to the subway. Shouldn't be an issue.
All right, I think we proceed.
And so, carefully and quietly, Ben rolls forward, driving through this city that is just desolation. There's nobody here. There's trash, there's garbage, there's buildings that look like it's been destroyed, windows broken, totally looted. And he drives until he stops at an unassuming door in the side of an unassuming building. And he transforms out of the car form, and you guys all kind of land on your feet as he walks up to the door, and he grabs the handle and twists. And as he does so, he transforms his hand into a mechanical rotor and an axle, and he starts spinning the handle of the door extremely fast until it stops. And then he pushes on the left side of the door near the frame, and he pushes the door open, and what it does is reveals a set of stairs that lead downward. And he beckons you forward. And you all walk down together into this dark area that has some very, very light lighting. And what you find is that you're walking into an old forgotten subway station. And Ben speaks as you walk. This used to be a subway station beneath the city until it was shut down. For decades, New Lisbon funneled their toxic waste to South Lisbon, supposedly recycling what they could and discarding the rest. Turns out the major corporations didn't care for conservation and were pumping it straight down into the earth. It worked for a while, until the animals in these tunnels became exposed to the toxic waste, altering their evolution and breeding capabilities. Over time, they formed mutants, which desperately wanted to find the source of their food, the toxic ichor. South Lisbon was forced to close the subway's routes, but they came up with a way to keep the mutants down here and out of the city. And you all step on a platform, and Ben points down the tunnel where you can see a red laser shield blocking the entrance of the subway tunnel. As the subway travels forward, the laser shield drops briefly, then reforms as the subway travels through. They tried this for a few years, until people just stopped using it for fear of the train stopping where the mutants could get you. So it got shut down completely, until we gave it a new purpose. And he walks over to a large switch on the wall, and he clicks it on. It's a big switch, it just clicks it on. And the subway service lights go out, and black lights all around the area turn on, lighting up the entire area in this fluorescent graffiti. And above the subway tunnel entrance, written in red, the words Hellway glow brightly. Welcome to the Hellway. Trigger the subway track, which drops the shield, and go as fast as your wheels can turn so you can make the next shield drop. Otherwise, you're stuck with the mutants.
Man, I remember you telling me stories about this. Racing in the tunnels is crazy. I can't believe this is part of our plan, man. And he's like, Paolo's like, this is a bad idea, but I'm really excited.
Yeah. It's
Vyper
great.
is initiating her mage armor, which in this world is just it's like a force shield that goes around the entirety of her body, and it's got honeycomb pattern on it, and then it's there for an instant, you can see it, and then it's gone, but it's there.
Cool.
Seeing that, I think Hugh's going to activate his journal too. Use that to free up his bonus action. So let's see. Mav doesn't like this part of the story, so you can just...
It's my absolute favorite part.
Okay. So, Hugh is still very upset about everything going on, but is trying to game face it. And he reaches down and he touches his journal, and a small bit of ink comes out of the journal and pools on the ground and forms a small harangan with light-colored fur and a big fluffy sweater on. And Hugh's beloved Namby comes out.
Gosh, Namby.
I rolled number 78, and Namby's
amazing.
here.
Oh my gosh.
It's a mutant.
Get in here.
It's amazing. So you do this, and in this world, you touch your journal and realize that this is instead of ink, it's a hologram. And so you look and see little hologram Namby standing there, silent, but you see the face of your friend, your friend that you've been missing, that brings you comfort.
You can see that Hugh had been kind of resorting back to a little bit of like that body language of like a little kid, like kind of hunkering down, trying to like be as small as possible. And then when Nambi forms, he kind of stands back up to his full 8 feet and puts his giant shoulders back that just like flex under the muscle tee he's wearing in this world. And he is ready to crush some shit with his bone crusher.
Amazing. I love it. That's so great. You get some confidence. Amazing rolls so far. This is great. And so Ben transforms back into the Hummer. This time it's the roof is off, and so it's a completely convertible Hummer. If there's any mutants that decide to attack, I'll need you all to fend them off. Because if they slow me down too much, I won't make the second laser shield, and we'll be as good as mutant shit. Now, it shouldn't be too hard when we race this. Of course, it's pretty scary. These mutants fly in and out, but they tend to be pretty small. It's nothing I don't think you can handle. But once we get through, that laser shield will go up, and we'll be in the clear, and we'll be right next to the bridge. There's a subway exit that this will go right up to, where we'll be able to get to the bridge area. Now I'm gonna need somebody to sit in the front seat to help me hit the gas. When the light turns green, we gotta go immediately. So with another person hitting the gas, one of us should be fast enough, quick enough on the gas so we can go. So who wants to sit up front?
Mechanically, is that someone with good dex? Because that's
yes, that would be good. That would be good initiative is what we're looking for.
I've got my dex is like, I'd say pretty mid-tier. So if anyone feels excellent about it, speak now.
And if only we had like a really like sprightly little rabbit with us.
Yeah, I know.
I've got a +4 to initiative.
Oh,
Better than me.
yeah,
Better than mine.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Will you sit down in the front seat, take the front seat, and you guys all pile in as well. I do want to know what your order is. So, Paolo, I got you in the, this is vintage 2024 Hummer, so it'll be driving sides on the right side.
What color is it? I have to know.
Yellow.
It's black.
Oh.
It's black.
It's black?
Yeah.
All right, is there undercar neon? You got the undercarriage neon on it?
I don't think he does. I don't think Ben does. He's a more simple guy, likes the more, the muscle vibe of a Prius, that's his vibe. So he's not adding a bunch of fancy whirligigs to his Hummer.
The question I really have is, are the car seats his skin? Because that wasn't fully settled in the original episodes, and Hugh needs to know that.
I'm pretty sure there was a mole on one of the seats, right?
Yeah. On
Would
the
it help
dashboard or
to know?
something. Yeah, no, I don't know if it would help or hurt. All right, yeah, let's just not know.
It's better not to know, man.
The seats are a little cracked. They need some moisturizer.
So it's like, rubbing some Eucerin in there.
Oh, gross. I don't know why that's the part that got me.
That's
but
the line, right?
Dry
right
skin.
there.
That you have to moisturize your seat before sitting on it. That's terrible. It's terrible. Okay, so I have
Paolo's up front.
Yeah, we'll do we'll have you on the front left, driver's seat. And who's up front with him?
I feel like I can do stuff like from the back as well. I don't think I need to have a window open for that necessarily. So I'll sit in the back.
Yeah, is it better if
He's
I'm
got the longest legs.
I can sit up front, I guess. I'm trying to think of like where would be the best place to swing a hammer from. Probably up front.
It's all pretty close. So you guys will be all pretty close in this car.
Is there a sunroof? Is there a moonroof?
It's
all roof is off, so it's a convertible for this.
Okay. So they could just like bop, like.
Yeah, we'll do that. And I have a reach of 10 feet, so we're all good. I'll sit up front so that I can push the seat back and get some leg space.
Where do you want to place Nambi?
Oh, Nambi.
She could be in the if you want,
hood.
she could be in the yeah, she's an echo, so she can really be anywhere.
Yeah, she can be wherever she wants to be.
You could put her on the hood, but you're still not sure exactly how Ben sees outside of the car. Is it the headlights? Is it more like cars? You wouldn't necessarily know the answer to that, but you know that if she was in front of you guys, it would block your vision as well.
Right.
So.
And the nice thing is, since I can attack through my echo, I'll put her in the back. That way I have full coverage of the entire Hummer.
Nice.
I love that it's a Hummer because I actually grew up where they make Hummers, and so they're like everywhere, and like it's like my culture is coming out.
Nice.
Some people have cool things. I have Hummers.
It's so rare to see now.
I know.
Let's see, Vyper and Lad, are you Vyper? Are you behind Hugh or Paolo?
I'll be behind Paolo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that Lad, that puts you in the back right of this.
With no leg
it's
space because my seat's all the way back.
Yeah. Yes, you have no legs.
Rough.
You all pile in, and Ben's voice comes on the radio. You'll notice something new as well. You see that big green button on the shift? You just got it installed. It's called Surge. If it looks like we're not gonna make it, hit that button. It'll give me the juice I need. And then the center console opens up, revealing 4 auto-injecting pens filled with green liquid. I got enough for each of you to have as well. Just slam that needle in your thigh and press the button. You'll be able to do what you need to do. And this surge acts as an action surge. That is an item interaction for you all.
Paolo is absolutely grabbing one. He's like, yeah, this is more up my alley, man.
Hey, toss one
Just
back.
today.
Toss 2 back.
And in fact, Paolo is gonna slap that bad boy into his quick injector. One of his augments is a quick fix injector. It's an easy use injector. Is installed in your body that can deliver drugs, potions, or chemicals. Allows the user to use their reaction to inject a dose of any fluid to the user. So I don't need to do an item interaction. I can just do a reaction if I want.
Okay, so you could use it as a reaction to take an action, basically.
Yep.
Is how you could use that as a.
Lad actually has immune system booster, which means drugs don't work on me. So I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and pass my additional one to Paolo as well.
Give me that, man. You know I know how to use this.
Just today.
Listen, that's how it starts, right?
Ben Biofuel rolls up to a large metal plate on the ground in front of the tunnel and puts his front 2 wheels on it. You hear in the station, "Please stand back as the train doors close." On the wall, an old stoplight wired to the track lights up red. Stand back as the train leaves the station. Ben revs his engine. The light is red. Then, boop, 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 beep. The light turns yellow, then green. The shield wall drops. You step on the gas. Paolo and Ben roll initiative.
Woo!
Crash Team Racing.
I rolled an 11. Not the greatest.
The wheels spin and Ben soars forward as the laser wall drops. He goes, and then slams on his brakes and stops right as the laser shield goes up. It says, we weren't gonna make it. We gotta try again. And so he turns around and goes back to the plate, puts his wheels on it. You hear the station, "Please stand back as the train doors close." Stand back as the train leaves the station. Ben revs his engine again. The light is red, then boop, 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 beep. The light turns yellow, then green. The shield wall drops. You step on the gas. Roll initiative again.
All right, there we go. 20. Dirty 20.
And Ben got a natural 20. So you guys step on the gas at the exact same moment. Surge forward. Everyone else in the car, your head hits the back of the headrest as Ben surges forward, closer to the tunnel, and you pass through the shield wall as it just narrowly shoots up behind you. Ben's headlights turn on, and you're traveling through darkness at a very high speed. Who has dark vision?
I do.
Lad?
I also have the ability to give everyone dark vision. So if that would be useful.
Talk to me.
I'm going to go ahead and use that ability, which is called Eyes of Night. So dark vision out to 300 feet. And I can share it with up to 5 willing creatures. It lasts 1 hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
While we're traveling down the tunnel, Paolo, having forgotten to do this, is going to pass out earpieces. There's probably wind howling past, like the wood pops down, can't hear each other, screaming over the wind. Paolo passes out earpieces, communications pieces that he tells everybody to pop in their ears. And then all of a sudden it's like you can hear each other in your heads. There's no wind, it's like the communication is clean and all of us can hear and speak to each other regardless of any kind of ambient sounds happening.
It's good that you clarify that you told us to put it in our ears, because there's a very strong possibility that he would have gone to put it in his mouth, just assuming it was something edible.
Right. It's like a bean. He's holding you a mechanical bean. What are you supposed to do with that? And so you guys are traveling through the darkness at a very high speed. The tunnel curves, splits, dips, and rises. And as Lad uses his ability, all of a sudden, you'd seen Ben's headlights go on, and then everything is illuminated to you all, and you can see everything in shades of gray and black. As Ben is expertly navigating through this track, you start to see movement off on the sides of the car, and you see dark forms, and as the headlight kind of shines as you pass around a corner, you see the glint of light hitting the backs of eyeballs flash as you make a turn. You look out and you can see, as you're passing, these mutated humanoid figures with swollen arms and legs and other features, and these death-like groaning faces. There are a lot of them as you turn down the next hallway, the next part of this tunnel, and they are everywhere on either side of the track. You just hear Ben's voice, "These are bigger!" And fear starts to grip at all of you. Everyone make a wisdom saving throw. Paolo, what was yours?
That was a nat 20, baby.
Nice.
For a 20, because I have a +0 bonus to wisdom.
Okay. Hugh.
14.
And Lad.
17.
17. And Vyper.
11.
11. You all succeed. The DC was 11. And so Vyper just narrowly, you all feel that fear grip at you. Ben's got to make this save too. He has a +7 to this roll, so he needs at least a 4 on this dice. This will be very bad if he does not hit at least a 4 on this dice.
Come on, don't Kyle it up. Roll well.
Don't Kyle it up.
Don't you pull a Kyle.
He rolls a 7, so he's great. And so he does not become a subject to the fear effect, and he drives forward past all of these bodies, and then suddenly a flying dark mass hits the side of the Hummer, and it rocks the side of the Hummer, and you look, and there's this humanoid face with fangs, and it elongates its jaw and screams. On the other side of the car, you hear thump, 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 and a massive black form with 3 legs rocks against the side of the Hummer. 2 humanoid faces look up from this, one gnashing its teeth violently, the other screaming as if it's in pain. Everyone roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
So, Vyper, what was your initiative?
7.
7. Womp. Lad, what was yours?
That would be a 4.
A 4. And Paolo.
18.
18. And Hugh.
18.
18. Okay. Roll off, you two. Just give me another initiative roll.
That would be 21 for me then.
That's only a 15 for me, so he goes first.
Okay. Ben goes last in this initiative as he is driving you through. And so we are at the top of the initiative. Paolo, you see this flying, it's like a huge human. This is a humanoid figure, the size of Hugh, bigger bigger than this, bigger in the torso portion size of Hugh. That was weird way to say that. It's bigger than Hugh.
Hugh is a measurement now.
Yeah, it is like 1 point.
Hugh's torso.
It's like 1.5 Hughs.
Okay.
Massive head that the jaw is like slack, and there's sharp teeth that are just gnashing around on this beast that has wings that are misshapen and gross. It's like this gray form in this darkness. And massive claws. That's on your right. That's on the right side of the car. On the left side, you see this like 3-legged hunk of mass, like running alongside Ben Biofuel, and these two heads. One that's gnashing its teeth. One that's like screaming in pain on your left side. And you're in the driver's seat on the left side. What would you like to do?
So, am I in melee range with one or both of these?
If your range is 5 feet, you're within melee of the big 3-legged thing on the left side.
Okay, but if I were to take a ranged attack against the one on the right, I would not be doing so with disadvantage?
You would, because you have an ally. You have an enemy within 5 feet of you, if that makes sense. So because the other one's there, you get disadvantage.
Got it. Okay. In that case, Paolo stands up, like in the like puts 1 foot on the seat, 1 foot on the well of, where you're like the footwell where your feet would normally be, and draws from behind him the samurai sword that the part that Lad and Vyper and Hugh, if he has a good memory for the story, would remember was wielded by a street samurai that was mauled and killed by the dancers at the Technomancer Club. And Paolo has dedicated himself to the study of this weapon and maybe ingested a couple data programs. But he is now a street samurai, which means that the first time he draws a melee weapon in combat, he gains advantage on his first attack. And if it hits, it does extra damage equal to 1d6 plus his proficiency bonus. So for his first attack, because he's a fighter, he attacks twice. I'm going to try to hit the thing on the left with this gleaming black steel. The first was a nat 1, so it's a good that
yes, that's not going to hit.
And the second was a 23.
23 will hit.
All right. Let's do the damage dance here. All right. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus my proficiency bonus, which for a strength attack is 3, so I get 11 slashing damage.
Okay.
And because of my cybernetics, I have muscle reinforcement. When I hit a creature with a melee attack, I can shove it, and if I win the contest, the creature takes an additional 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So he is going to fall back and try to hit this thing so hard that he throws it against the wall of the tunnel.
Okay.
But we have to have a contested strength roll here.
Yep.
And I gain because of muscle reinforcement, I have a +2 to my strength bonus. And he rolls a 24.
That's good.
24. It rolled a 23. It rolled a 23.
Yes.
And so, so you're able to slash into this mutated form, and you feel the sword, the samurai sword cut through flesh and skin. And you are able to shove it then 5 feet away.
I can push it up to 10 feet away and knock it prone.
Amazing. Incredible.
And I need to do an additional 2d6 bludgeoning damage. That's 5, okay. 6, 11 bludgeoning damage.
Amazing. So you slash and get your samurai sword in there and then shove it, and it push it over, and it's got 3 legs. It's not very stable on its feet, and you are able to throw it to the side, and it goes prone on the ground. And right now in this setting, it's still within 10 feet for the rest of the round until it gets to Ben's turn at the end, but it's prone and Ben's moving fast, and you suspect that you're going to be able to leave this thing behind when it comes Ben's turn.
After the slash and sending this thing sprawling, he continues the slash of the sword through and whirls around, and with his left hand for his second attack, raises his micro SMG to fire a blast at the mutant on the other side of the car. And because he is now no longer in melee range with anybody, it is not with disadvantage.
Amazing. Incredible.
Does a 17 hit?
Sure does.
Yes. All right. And this is 11. That's 15 piercing damage.
Amazing. You shove this creature to the side and whip around with that SMG, and this is like a burst gun, right? Like this is like a, and just rip into it. And this creature just takes these bullets on its body. You see a bullet go through a wing. Anything else for your turn?
I think, yeah, that's my turn. With apologies to Hugh for, firing off an automatic weapon right in front of his face.
Yeah, Hugh, the gun goes off and it's like loud in your ears. Hugh, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to take 2 swings with Bone Crusher at this thing next to me. I was afraid you were going to kill all the monsters, Mav, before I got a chance to wail on them. I was like, back off my monsters, man. Okay, so my first attack is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yep.
And then the second one is going to be an 18 to hit.
Both hit.
Woo, 2 8s on that. So 30 bludgeoning damage, and then I'm going to use my Crusher feat to knock it back 5 feet off of the car.
Good lord. 30 bludgeoning damage. Woo! Yeah, you smack it with the Bone Crusher, and it like goes in. You hit it once in the chest, and like it's like these bones are just like not well formed. This isn't a solid rib cage that you've hit before. The bones are in disarray, and it just crunches into it, and it takes a massive blow with those 2 strikes that you do, and you push it 5 feet away, and its wings like flap in the air as it's 5 feet away from the car at this point. Anything else for your turn?
I'll have Nambi take a swing at it. How does it look? Does it look fine?
It looks pretty bad. It's taking
does.
a big SMG shot, and then it took those 2 huge hits from your Bone Crusher. It's not looking great.
Yeah, so I'll do that. So we'll say that Nambi's spiritual weapon manifests, which is her sword where the hilt is the sun. And notice that I, Brooke, remembered the part of the sword. So I'm going to take an attack through the Unleash Incarnation feature. Oh, Nambi just crit.
Yo.
Amazing. Oh,
good job, Nambi.
Hugh. You all have heard of the Crit Master, or as some call her, the Croat Goat.
It's so gross. I hate it so much.
The past tense of crit is Croat, of course.
Look, you earned it. Bear it, okay?
You've heard it in a first round of combat. There it is. Just one of them's a nat 20. Amazing.
Nambi does 28 bludgeoning damage.
God damn.
That does it for this, as Nambi's sword, and this is like a hologram, so you're used to this inky kind of like black form, and this is a hologram that really has more color to it, and Nambi's sword lights up with the power of soul and the sun, and just stabs into this flying creature. Stabs into it, and it like flaps for a second, and then just like tumbles off into the darkness and is away.
I need to get me one of those.
Vyper, you are up, and the 2 monsters that were aside the car are gone.
What remains?
Give me a perception check first.
Okay.
Kyle, do I take that to mean that we're going to leave the prone monster behind in one round?
Once Ben goes, then yeah, it's like because we're sort of in this, stuck in movement a little bit here, but it's there, but it's fallen prone, and you guys are moving fast, so this is all kind of happening at once.
That's gonna be a 9.
A 9. Yeah, you don't. You look around and don't see any immediate threats, but do see all of these mutated, swollen, disgusting humanoid forms that are just around in this tunnel.
Okay, seems good. Seems safe. I think you guys got them all. I'll just kind of like reach out and reach into my pocket of my jacket and bring out this little orb. That is my fine familiar.
Orblet.
You know,
Orblet.
Yeah. So it was just chilling in there, but now it's out and it's just kind of like hovering nearby at the ready.
Is Orblet on the character list?
No, Arblet's
on
not.
the-
It's only
on the
player
ink list.
characters.
Oh, okay.
But if I ever like roll Vyper, Orblet will be there too. Yeah.
Okay.
Does Orblet do anything for its turn?
Well, I can't see anything happening that's dangerous to us right now, so I'm not really telling it to do anything. I could see through it if need be, but it would just leave me deaf and blind. There's not much going for it. It has blind sight, but that doesn't really help it like see like things, right?
And blind sight would help if anything was hidden. Because isn't blind sight like nothing can be hidden within like 10 feet?
It's just within 10 feet. It's I think that's the range of it. Cool. Is Orblet like an owl? Is that what it looks like? It's like a.
It's just an orb. It's just
Oh, it's
like
just an orb. Okay.
imagine a Destiny ghost. That's just the orb.
Okay.
Doesn't have like any
love
little. Yeah.
Eyes up, Vyper.
Okay. So you summon
Very
it.
good.
It will have a little turn after yours. Is there anything you would do on your turn?
Just hiding. I'm slunk down. I don't have much when it comes to weaponry. It's more of like attacking like inorganic things in machines and vehicles, not these weird.
Do you want to take the dodge action? That way, in case it'll give them disadvantage if they try to attack you.
That is a great idea. I will
Cool.
dodge.
You take the dodge action and you spawn Orblet, who immediately tries to get your attention to look off the side of the car as one of these humanoid forms reaches an arm up, a swollen arm, and reaches his head up and screams and goes to bite you.
Sick. I would like to
But
use
it's
my
with
Orblet now.
disadvantage,
Oh, okay.
and that is a 12 to hit with disadvantage.
That is a miss. It's my mage armor.
And misses. Everyone else sees this humanoid form kind of like crawling up onto Ben Biofuel.
Oh, futz. There's one on the side.
And yes, in typical Kyle fashion, I rolled so terribly on initiative on all these monsters. Insane. Lad, you are up.
I am going to blast that arm with some flames.
Okay.
So it's going to be a dexterity 16 save for you.
Rolls a 16.
Unfortunate. That is going to be my turn.
I really miss Mtiro's silvery barbs.
Yeah. So you was that a spell? So cast a spell. Anything else for your turn?
Cantrip, yeah. I think that's
If you have
gonna
a
be it.
bonus action spell, you could use a bonus
Yeah,
action
I
spell.
don't.
But
I just have healing stuff, and no one's hurt, so I'm good.
you what was that? A fire bolt spell? Is that what you used? Or
Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame? Yeah. So you try to target the Sacred Flame on this monster and put it right where you think it's going to be on this arm, and then the arm bends backwards. It bends in the wrong direction that you expected, and it's able to make the dexterity save on that. And then it is Ben's turn, and for Ben, he is just ripping forward. You see a Gatling gun kind of like pop up in the back next to Nambi and aim downward at the at this humanoid mass, and he is going to use this Gatling gun attack.
Nambi loves Gatling guns.
Ben, where did that Gatling gun come from? Where was it stored? Where was that stored?
Sorry, another secret. And he rolls. Oh man, does he even hit? He doesn't even hit. And he technically has to roll with disadvantage too. And yeah, he double didn't hit. Wow, that was terrible. The Gatling gun, he tries to aim at it right close to it with the gun, and just it fires around it, and it lights up. You can see a little bit more color as some of the other things are getting lit up as you guys are driving, surging forward. And that is his turn. He is driving forward. You all look forward, and you can see a few of these monsters reach out with their arms and like stretch out and put their hands onto like Ben as he's going, and he's kind of ripping and like breaking arms off as he's going. But one sticks to the side of a pretty large beast, one of these mutated forms, and it's stuck there on kind of the front wheel, on the front, and you can tell that it's affecting Ben, and if it stays there, if it's still there by the time Ben's turn comes around, then he will be grappled. And so that's what you see at the front left of the car at this point. Paolo, it is your turn.
Is the arm the grappling or attempting to grapple the front left tire? I'm in the driver's seat. Is that melee range for me?
Yes, that's melee. That's melee range.
Okay. Paolo's gonna drop his micro SMG. It's got a sling, so it just kind of settles down onto his hip. And he's going to grip his katana with both hands because it's a versatile weapon. You can turn it into a 1d10 slashing weapon. And he is going to hack away at this arm to try to free Ben's wheel. I'm going to attack. The first attack is a 21 to hit.
Yep, that will hit.
Okay. For... Oh, I rolled really well. For 11 damage.
Okay.
11 slashing. He's going to attack again. Shit, that's a nat 1. For a 7 to hit.
Yes, and you missed the second attack. You cut through that arm, though, that's kind of like attached. It's just this gross mass of flesh that's attached to his wheel well. And kind of in the mechanism there, and you're able to cut it pretty good. It looks not like there's just a couple tendons really holding it together, and just sinew in the middle, some bone. Anything else for your turn?
Yeah, he's gonna action surge and attack again. Because he's closest to this thing. This is his responsibility now. He's like, no, hands off my friend, and so he attacks again.
Maybe Ben is into it though.
I know my friend. He's not into this. Okay. Wheels, you don't touch the wheels. The wheels are they're pristine, they're well kept, he maintains them, you don't touch the wheels. This is a 25 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
All right. For 12 damage, 12 slashing damage.
12 slashing, that does it. And you break through the bone, and that tendril holding Ben there is gone. That massive arm.
So I have another attack because I attack twice whenever I use the attack action. Can I reach the arm that attempted to savage Vyper?
Yes, yeah, and that is and that's that's like a humanoid form that's on the back. You can see it's like right next to her, like on the side of the door, reaching in, trying to bite her.
Because she's sitting behind me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so melee range again?
Yep, melee range.
Excellent. He's going to carry through that attack to the front wheel and try to sweep up behind with like an uppercut for the thing that's on Ben's side on the left. For an 8 to hit.
8 does not hit.
All right. But he misses, and that is going to be his turn.
Okay. Hugh, you see that mutated human on the back next to Vyper. That seems to be the only threat at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna take my two normal attacks through Nambi because she's like right there too. I'm guessing, right? Am I understanding that right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. First one's a 26.
Yep.
And second one is a 17.
Both hit.
And that'll be 28 bludgeoning damage.
Was that 2 hits or 3?
That was 2 hits.
2 hits.
I was gonna see how it is doing.
Yes, you smash into this thing and kill it. Any specific way you kill this thing on the back?
I think holographic power of soul shoots out of her sun sword and just fries this monster. Just kind of explodes it into sunlight.
Amazing.
Pixelated sunlight.
Yes, this pixelated flash of sunlight blasts this monster off the back. And you all travel forward on Ben. You look around, there's no other monsters clinging on. There's still some threats as Ben is swerving, going through the tunnels. He's doing a good job expertly avoiding. And you can see the end of the tunnel in front of you. And before the end of the tunnel, on the side of the platform, there is a massive hunk of mutated mass. This is just a beast that has its jaw, wide open. It takes its hand and grabs at its own flesh and rips. And as it rips its own flesh, a spray of putrid green, like acid, poisonous looking material goes to hit you all. Everybody make a constitution saving throw as you're hit with this nasty, disgusting poison spray. Paolo.
So I have bone coating as a one of my cybernetic enhancements. It says you gain a +2 bonus to Constitution ability checks and Constitution saving throws.
Nice.
And I rolled a 1, so I am going to use my inspiration to re-roll that d20 because I really don't want to be poisoned right now. All right, 14 plus 2 is 16, plus my actual con modifier 3, so a 20. Sorry, a 19.
19. Okay. That is a save. Hugh.
23.
That is a save. Kitty.
Yes.
Vyper. Yeah.
That's a 10.
A 10. Lad.
It's gonna be a 17.
A 17. Yes, the saving throw on that was 16. So Vyper, everybody else gets hit with this venom spray and is able to shrug it off. Vyper, you are going to take 21 poison damage from this.
Ooh. Oh man!
As you it hits you and you just take a breath in at the wrong time and you start choking on this venom, and you are poisoned for 1 minute. And Ben has to make the
Kyle.
save as well. Yep.
Question about Nambi. So I don't know what her con would be. Do I roll a save for her? Because she does take damage, and but she's also like an illusion.
Can she make saving throws? Or
She's immune to all conditions. If it has to make a saving throw, it uses your saving throw bonus for the roll.
okay. So go ahead and roll for her. Come on, Nambi.
Okay, we're good. We should be at least. That's a 24.
24,
He's gonna
yes.
lose it if Nambi goes down.
Nambi is unaffected as the venom just goes through her hologram, and she smiles. And Ben is able to pass that as well. He rolled a 12, but as in his Humvee form, he gets a +5 to his Constitution, so that's good.
Nice.
Ben surges forward. You see the end of the tunnel, and he drives through it. And just as you drive through it, the laser wall zoom, goes up behind you, and you are all safe at the end of this subway tunnel.
Ooh.
We are alive, everybody here.
Ow.
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh, you can also eat your biscuit.
Thinking about it. I want to save it though.
How does the poison affect her out of combat?
It will last for a minute and then it'll go away. So this.
But will she take any additional damage or no?
No, won't be taking any additional. So.
I'm just gonna heal or do a cure wounds for her then. Actually, I'm gonna do a healing word for now. So that's gonna be add 7. And I can heal you again later if you need it.
Kyle, do we have more than a minute to take a breather before we enter the next segment of the tunnel?
So everything's calm in the subway area, and Ben transforms and just says, "I'm sorry, I thought that would be safer. The mutants they didn't used to be that big. It's been a while since I've been down here, but this is much different, and they didn't look like humans before."
Paolo slaps him on the shoulder like, "Good driving, mano. Got us through? There was a guy trying to grab your tire. You know I had to take care of that."
"Yeah, thank you, brother." And he's kind of shaking it off at this moment, kind of taking a moment to recollect himself.
That was pretty crazy.
Hugh, how you doing, man?
I'm okay. You know, weirdly enough, that wasn't the weirdest thing I've seen in the last few days. I didn't enjoy it. It was pretty gross. But then he kind of like looks over at his hologram Nambi and he's like, but it's okay.
While we're out of combat, I'm gonna go ahead and do a cure wounds also,
Okay.
so we don't have to worry about it later. Add another 13.
Me?
Yep.
I think that does it, actually.
And Ben
Thank
seems
you.
to recollect himself a little bit and says, all right, I know we got to keep moving. Next step of the plan, everyone can get back in the Hummer, and I can cast Camouflage Self. I'm going to turn invisible, and that'll get us close enough to the bridge. And Vyper, you got your EMP?
I do.
Once we get close enough, Vyper, you let that EMP go, and we'll be able to get on the bridge.
Paolo's going to, while they're taking a second, he's gonna set down his like bag, you know, his like combat bag, and dig out a silencer and screw it onto the barrel of his micro SMG. He's like, we're going quiet now, right? We were loud before, and now is everything quiet?
Yeah.
Man, you ever see anything like that before, man? The mutants I saw before, they were like dogs and like cats and shit, you know? I never saw people.
This was totally different. They never look like us. They never look like humans.
Fucking corpos, man.
Does that silencer impact your weapon at all besides just making it quiet? Because I have an ability that can it can muffle it for a minute.
So the silencer, it significantly muffles the sound of the gunshots, so the shot can only be heard from half of the weapon's normal range. But while the silencer is attached, a ranged weapon attack with the weapon automatically misses a target beyond the weapon's normal range. So if I try to hit anything beyond 40 feet, I automatically miss. I can't shoot at long range.
If you would prefer, I could just give it a muffle of my own, and that will create a small field of silence around the firing mechanisms and muzzle for the duration, which is 1 minute. Any attacks made with the weapon make no sound. So makes no sound.
It only lasts a minute though?
Yeah, and it doesn't impact like any of the range or any of that.
Maybe you'll hold on to that one, because I think it's gonna get loud, and I can keep this pretty quiet for now, but you know, when Ben starts punching people and this big guy starts swinging the hammer, we're gonna need it to be quiet. Maybe you hold on to that, okay?
This only works for a firearm.
Hey lad, you got any guns, man? Is it just me?
I don't have any. I forgot to buy one.
I left my gun in the West.
Would that work for a Gatling gun?
It's a firearm.
Yeah, right?
Could be useful for my gun on my back.
Ooh, okay.
Completely quiet Gatling gun? That sounds pretty cool. I like that.
Noted.
Good.
Yeah, Vyper, hold on to that. I think we need it soon, no?
While I'm invisible, though, I can't attack, or else it'll get dropped. And so, if it comes up, if we need it, we're probably gonna be in deep shit already. He kind of walks forward, and you can kind of see from a vantage point outside the tunnel of the, or kind of up some stairs where the subway entrance is. This is more of an open subway. This is like there's much bigger doors. This isn't a secret entrance that you're just going up the main staircase. And you can see in the distance the bridge. The bridge is massively fortified. Huge guns, rockets, huge artillery, tons of movement, tons of AI sentries with their large tentacles like walking around everywhere. You can see that there's a lot of them in that area. Getting to the bridge without using the MP would be impossible, but you can see the direction you need to go. And Ben says, "All right, once we get past the guards, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go quietly so we don't alert anybody, on the bridge, but we're gonna have to take out those guard posts on the way. Are you guys ready?
Real quick, here, hand these out, and I pass forward to every one of you what looks like a wristwatch. And these are, I explain, as the anti-EMP devices that you'll be wearing that will protect you and all your cybernetic stuff from this EMP device. So you just activate it by turning the face of the watch clockwise, and it will like activate. You'll be safe. I'll put it around your shift stick, Ben.
Okay,
Gear
great.
shifter.
I'm sure that's where it's supposed to go.
And remember, I still have that button if we need me to go. We can press that button. You all have your surges left.
Paolo looks over at Vyper like, I love that you think that his wrist is the gear shift. That's so sweet.
It just seemed like the only place to like put it on this.
Like hang it from the rear mirror.
Yeah.
Like a bobble.
So Paolo tries to put the wrist like watch on, and because of the sleeve of his jacket and his like metallic arm, he can't quite do it. He's like trying to get it on, and it just like won't snap.
I made a
through.
bigger version for you.
So he just takes the sleeve of his leather jacket and just rips it off. So it's just metal arm now, and then straps the thing to his wrist. And he's like, "It's good. Yeah, more movement. This is fine."
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, let's go. And so he transforms slowly this time, more quietly, into the Hummer. And you see him transform into the Hummer and then shimmer and disappear. And you all climb into the Hummer, try to find the door handle, and get inside. And Ben moves forward, and you can see one of the patrols kind of walking by on its tentacles. You can see it's this like humanoid body almost that you can tell it can move its arms and legs, but it doesn't seem to prefer to use those. As it's walking on its tentacles in front of you, these big metal arm tentacles, and the humanoid body like looks somewhat organic, but mostly cybernetic. It looks like it's like this body that's been taken over by this massive of tentacle and metal, is what it kind of looks like. Big red light glowing from its head as it's looking with this, glassy red eye. And it moves forward, he slows down, it moves past, and he's able to move forward and get closer to the bridge. As you get close to the bridge, you see that there is a large kind of lasers that go through. And this is different than the laser from the subway. This is the laser that blocks this one, you can tell is like a scanning sort of device, where if those of you who've done you guys have part of this plan know that would reveal anything that would be invisible, then can't drive through that. And so he creeps up forward and gets close and is in the middle of most of this artillery and most of the embattlements, and the sentries are walking close to him. There's one that's looks like it's on its way, that it's going to walk into Ben.
So how far are we from the laser?
You are
point?
you are in position.
Okay, let's do this thing.
You're up, kid.
This is the moment, right? I'm not going too fast. This is the moment that we're doing the thing. Okay,
Everyone's
so
quiet. Yeah.
I'm turning the gears on this thing, this little device, and I let it begin.
Okay. You are able to turn it on without a check, and it's like a shockwave goes out from it, and the lights go out that are around. The artillery droops down, and the arms on these tentacle beasts, they just can't hold it up, and they just all drop, and all the AI is down in this area. If you were to look in the distance, you can see the lights are still on. It's limited range, but your EMP works, and you can tell that you've deactivated it. It only had one charge, and Ben moves forward at a quick pace, driving around the AI sentries, and drives through the constructs, through the artilleries pointing down, and onto the bridge, and moves forward. And you guys continue to move forward, and you look back, and after about 2 minutes, you can see everything come online in your rear view, and nothing seems to react.
So they don't know any better, right? They're just like,
Don't know any
just
better.
a quick malfunction.
Everything looks normal.
So now we're between like guard posts on this bridge.
Yep, and so you are approaching the first guard post.
Okay.
And you can see that on this bridge there are a series of 3 guard posts. Each one of them has an alarm on the main floor, and there is a guard sentry that is there. And this is all intel that you had received from various sources on how this security works. And so you can know that there is a guard on the main floor. On the second floor, it's open. It's just a kind of a tower that doesn't have a roof. Second floor is a attack sentry on top of that. And then there is, if you go up a floor, there is a sentry gun that's like on a post. So like, and that post is on the center of the second level. And so you can see that you're approaching this first guard sentry outpost. On this bridge, you look left and right. Bridge is pretty high off the ground, but this is like a massive bridge. It's 8 lanes on both sides. This is the way to get into New Lisbon City. You look down below at the water. It looks brownish, greenish. It doesn't look great. This isn't like crystal blue, clear, wonderful water. You look up at the sky that is just perpetually clouded, and you look forward and see the city of New Lisbon that is dark. You see smoke coming up from one of the towers. The city looks dark and doesn't look like there's a bunch of activity going on there, but you can see signs of destruction. One of the buildings looks destroyed a little bit. There's smoke rising from another one as you creep along on this bridge. What is your plan of attack on this guard post? As you know that the bottom floor is an alarm. On that same panel is a hacking panel for Vyper to get to in order to deactivate the guard post.
Really quick, Paolo, you mentioned, well, this is above the table, so Mav, you mentioned earlier that Paolo gave us some earbuds. What were those for again? Just reminding Katie.
Yeah, so all of us, we all have earpieces that we can communicate with each other. I think the range is like 1,000 meters or something, but we can all communicate with each other on
verbally.
Shortwave. And so it's unaffected by EMP.
So it's verbal only, right? It's not like in the
Correct.
head? Okay.
Verbal only. So coming up to this first guard post, can we see any like sentry drones outside, or are they all, is it just this like massive building?
It's just the guard post, and in front and past the guard post are a set of massive artillery, massive guns that you do not want to come into contact with, and they are kind of scanning the area. You know that if you deactivate this node at this guard post, it shuts down the guns, but you don't see any other sentries, just the 2 that you, as you approach, you can see one inside through the windows, and you can see the one up on top, kind of scanning and looking around.
So as we're rolling up, Paolo turns around in the seat to Vyper and is like, "Hey, can you maybe pulse this guy?"
Yeah, I have this EMP grenade that we could also lob up there.
Well, I think we take the guy out on the first floor first, right? That's the plan. He's the guy that may activate
Yes.
the turrets. We got to get to him first. But can you do some things in the net, maybe get into his head and like make him, disable him?
I can pulse them, and if they fail their con save, they will be stunned until the end of my next turn. That's a good amount of time, I would say, to do some damage.
I say we stack up on the door, you pulse him, and then we go. We enter, we go in, and we take him out.
Reading this, it says constructs with the electronics feature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
If it talks about electronics, and these have electronics on them, and I will let that work, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That will work.
And you know that the plan as you have thought of it, once you leave the car, then initiative will be rolled. And you guys are understanding that this guard on the bottom floor will activate the alarm. That will be its goal, to activate the alarm. That's its role to alert the rest of the AI of an intruder. That's kind of your intel on the situation that you've known.
Has Mouse informed us whether the electronics in this guard post are shielded or not? Would a pulse of this kind disable the alarm itself, like the control from working?
You would have, yes, if it is electronic, you would assume that it does that it would cancel that.
Smart. Okay, so can I see within 60 feet of me that guard sentry, like through like a window or?
Yeah, you can see him.
All right.
Kind of in the middle of this guard outpost. It is a 15 by 20 square with stairs as part of that, but basically 15 by 15 square, and then there's stairs adjacent.
And before we hop out of the car, I'm gonna give Vyper Vigilant Blessing, which as an action, I give a creature that I touch advantage on the next initiative roll.
Ooh. Okay. You said. Oh.
Make sure that you're ready.
That is Vigilant Blessing.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you guys ready?
All right.
Okay, so you drive up, and Ben drives up right to the front of this guard sentry. You snap your fingers. Everybody jumps out of the car. Everybody roll initiative.
Every time.
Well, remember, you roll twice. You have advantage on it.
I did roll twice.
Uh-oh. I tried to help you.
Might have to have Hugh save us by running in and bashing this thing to death before it gets the control.
I rolled very badly.
Oh, good. This is going off swimmingly.
I also rolled very badly.
Great.
We're doing
you,
a
Ben.
great job. So Kyle, real fast, potentially dumb question. There's also one of these octopi things up on the roof too, right?
Yes.
It's just the one in the room is taking precedence because of the alarm feature.
Yep, the alarm is down there. The one on top is known as a attack sentry, and this is one that you guys have been kind of briefing Hugh a little bit on these different types of sentries. The one on top does more damage and is a little bit squishier, but it is one that is there to eliminate threats. Paolo, what was your initiative roll?
9.
9. Vyper, what was your initiative roll?
10.
10. Lad.
It's gonna be a 7.
A 7. Hugh.
Well, hold on to your hats, guys. That's gonna be a 4.
A 4. Oh no.
Yeah.
What did Ben get?
Oh no.
Wait, what does Ben roll? What's Ben's initiative?
Yeah, he got a 17 on his initiative.
Okay,
Okay,
hold on. I have the alert feat, which allows me to swap initiative with one willing ally.
Oh really?
And Ben is the definition of willing, I believe.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I am going to swap with him, and Ben is going to take my, whatever it was, 9 roll, and I am going to take 17.
Excellent. As you get out of the car, Ben ejects you from the seat to give you a little bit of boost as you are shoved out of the car.
Do you want me to roll for my familiar? Because it says I have to roll their own initiative.
Yep,
and it
yeah, you can
activates
roll
the-
initiative.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Go ahead.
Watch it be like a nat 20. That'd be crazy. That's an 8.
8. So you go before Lad. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
As you all step out of the car, I need to roll to see which one the Gatling gun on top is going to see you first and is going to attack. That's going to be Hugh, you're 1, Paolo, you're 2, Vyper, you're 3, and Lad, you're 4.
Namby's there too.
3. Oh, it can recognize holograms as lesser threats. So it's gonna attack Vyper. 12 to hit.
It misses.
It misses its shot.
Wow.
Its first one, and its second one is an 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It starts firing down at you, and you take 13 points of piercing damage. Paolo, you're up.
All right, so understanding that I'm looking at our intel and the description of the tower. Does the intel of this tower match what I'm seeing?
The intel of the tower, yes, exactly, yes. The intel that you got is exactly what you see for the tower.
Okay, so how far away am I from this drone in the middle of the room?
You're basically starting at the door. All of you are.
Okay, so I'm maybe 10 feet?
Yeah.
All right. It looks like I have 15 feet from the door to the control.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to move past the drone, and I am going to try to beat it to the control, and then turn on it to attack with my. Paolo's gonna get to the control and post up in front of it to deny access by the drone, and he's going to rattle off 2 shots with his SMG once he gets there. But getting by it, I believe I'm gonna have to take an opportunity attack.
No, because you're going into its range and not leaving its range. Because he's like in the center of the room, he can get to it's 5 feet everywhere except for like the staircase is way I have it. So
got it. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm not gonna want to draw disadvantage by using his SMG. So he's gonna letting the SMG hang by his side. He's gonna draw his katana and then post 2 hands to it and try to go to work on this drone while putting his back to the control.
Okay.
So the first attack is a 9 to hit. That's probably not gonna hit.
Will not hit.
Second is a 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay. We're gonna do 11 slashing damage. And then with my bonus action, I'm gonna slap that injector for action surge into my bloodstream. And he's gonna action surge again so he can attack 2 more times.
Nice.
That's another 18.
Okay.
For another 8 damage slashing and 5. Oh, sorry, 8.
8 does not hit.
All right, so I think your grand total of, I think it was 19 slashing damage. Is that right?
Yep.
And then Paolo slams his back up against the control to put himself in between the drone and the control.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
No.
Okay. The sentry on top is going to crawl with its many arms down to the main level, and it sees you blocking the panel for the guard sentry to get to, and it is going to try and grapple you out of the way. And so the attack sentry walks up to you, and it is going to make a grapple attack. And so that's going to be a contested roll, your strength or dexterity, or your acrobatics or athletics.
Let's see. It's going to be athletics. So from Paolo's muscle reinforcement, his arms are not just cybernetic arms, but they've been reinforced. The cybernetic muscles in his arms have been reinforced. So he gains a +2 bonus to strength ability checks and strength saving throws.
Nice. Okay.
But I'm going to add a +2 to my athletics, which is already a +6. All right. It's a 19, so that's 27 strength.
You pass as it rolled a 14 on that check. That is a bonus action it gets to make with a grapple. And so it fails that grapple check. You push the tentacle out of the way, and that is going to hit you with 3 tentacle attacks. First one is a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
For 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Second one is a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
For 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And third is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
For 21 bludgeoning damage.
Woo.
Whoa, gosh, I rolled well on that last one. Are you still standing?
13, 10, 21?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, he's still up. He takes those hits. He's got this plated vest underneath his ripped up jacket. and they deflect some of the damage, but not nearly enough to significantly reduce it.
Okay. Yeah, it throws its tentacles at you. You see its just red, glaring eye staring down at you. The guard sentry is next. You guys really messed up on these initiative rolls, but this guard sentry is going to try and grapple you out of the way as well. And the guard sentry walks up to you, and you need to make another athletics check.
All right, let's see it.
No.
No, that's good. We're okay.
No, I was looking at Kyle's face.
I have a 25.
It rolled a 20. You saved. And beaten down by the first one, the second one tries to grapple you out of the way and is not able to. The guard sentry can make 2 tentacle attacks now. And it swings one that's like a blade tentacle toward you. And that is a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that is 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And its second tentacle swings at you. This one's thicker, hits you like a hammer, 13 to hit.
Misses.
And you duck and miss as you take all of these tentacle attacks except for the last one and miss. And that is the guard's turn. Vyper, you're up.
Okay, so...
Do you want to maybe pause that now?
So, above the table, here's the thing. If I do the pulse, that means I'm shutting down the place that I could hack to instead shut them down. Correct?
Yeah, you understand that you will need to hack it to get rid of the main artillery, and so the pulse will deactivate the whole electronic system, so you won't be able to do that until it comes up. That could give you time to address the other AI. You know that from your research on this panel, once you get up to it, that this is something that you had been able to get one of the units from and practice on. You know that this is a DC 10 investigation check to be able to hack this unit, which you can get to right now with your movement. You could get around Paolo and try to make that check to kind of get over it, if that makes sense.
Yes. Hacking it would or would not disable the sentries themselves. Like
it would disable the sentries themselves. The
so
guards.
it's either a long battle of attrition of health, or I try to just shut it down as soon as possible. I'm just not realizing that. Me.
Vyper has Paolo's full confidence.
Oh, man. So everyone positioned right now in that room, like, are all clustered around.
It's clumped. It is clumped as hell in that corner. There's the 2 guards, and there is Paolo back there with his back against the wall defending the panel. And you can get there because there's not that much. You can get through this difficult terrain to get to the panel.
I feel like pulsing this one is probably best bet. We'll try again at the next guard station. Okay, so yeah, I let pulse go.
Okay, so the guards will have to make a Constitution saving throw, or they're stunned till the end of your next turn, and everything else will shut down.
I guess the DC is 14. That's
Okay.
what my spell save is.
And this is Constitution? Yeah.
Yes.
So first is the attack sentry. It rolls an 18, so it passes. The guard sentry rolls a natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
The panel
They
goes
can't get
down.
the panel.
Yeah, I can't alert it either.
The guard sentry on
1 minute.
the sentry gun on top goes down. And anything else for your turn?
Yeah. I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna need another action.
And this is using the surge, the stab surge thing, right?
Yes. So this
Yep.
gives me back my my action, and I'm gonna use my elemental emitter. A small arcane battery is installed into my body, so I'm just storing up all this energy, and then I'm gonna release it into like a thunder wave. So the saving throw for this damage type is a Constitution DC 16. creatures made out of inorganic material have disadvantage on saving throws caused by this cyberware. As an action, I can use a free hand to launch a burst. And I'm going to do it in a 5-foot wide line. And I'll tell Paolo to go prone. Hit the deck. Go prone. Hopefully you had some movement left to do that, maybe.
On his next turn, he will have to.
I was gonna say I can't do it as a reaction. If you have movement left, and you should, because you shouldn't have, you had to use a whole lot of movement. You could shift to their side without leaving. And
make it like a 5-foot vertical line instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll shift in a position that hits the 2 sentries and does not hit Paolo. Preferably.
Okay. And they have to make a Constitution save, and they have disadvantage, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw. They have disadvantage because they're constructs, and it's DC 16.
Attack sentry rolls a 19 with disadvantage.
Good lord.
You're not rolling very Kyle right now, and I need you to stop it.
The guard sentry rolls with disadvantage and rolls a 9. And so the guard sentry fails.
So, on a successful save, they receive half damage. So I gotta roll 66 for the damage. Here we go.
Damn, 66?
66.
Pretty good.
It's gonna be 21 for the one that rolled a 9. And how do you want to split this one?
11.
10.
No, 11.
11, yeah.
Round up.
Oh, round down. Yeah, right. Round down on damage.
Come on.
10.5 rounds up to 11.
21 for one, 10 for the other. And that's thunder damage.
Okay. And next, you got your owl, or Orblet. Not
Oh my gosh.
Orblet.
So
You got
true.
Orblet.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that forward. And what does Orblet do then? It doesn't really do much.
Probably can take like a disengage or dodge action,
To defend
or
itself.
give advantage to somebody for something, maybe like a help
Yeah, like
action.
a help action.
Interesting. So if I hover it kind of like a block above where they are, is that considered a flanking maneuver?
Oh yeah, we wouldn't use flanking rules on this, but it would give you could give advantage to one of your other allies.
You can help Paolo
essentially.
grapple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I want to set it above, if not flanking, then just above, close enough,
Yeah, so you can have so Orblet was flying around and is going to distract them for, and you could pick somebody to help with with one of their checks or whatnot. You could say if you want to help Paolo, you could send Orblet over to Paolo.
Yes, it's over Paolo.
Okay, cool. Lad, you're up.
So, how is Paolo looking?
Very bad, my friend. If you could help me, that would be really great right now. Really great. If anything, you got some of those, those healing mites, the nanobots you got in your pocket. I would like that very much.
Okay. Let's see. I am going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to cast a 3rd level healing word for Paolo. And that is going to be 14 healing. Not great, but okay.
Is there a specific word that Lad says for his healing word?
Heal, motherfucker. And I am also going to do let's see. I think I'm going to do a Sacred Flame on, let's see, which are the 2 that are in vicinity?
Guard and Sentry are both right next to each other.
All right, I'm going to do the Guard Sentry. Actually, no, I'm going to do the Attack Sentry.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 16 Dex DC.
Rolls a 19.
These are very non-Kyle rolls.
Not
I
Kyle
know.
rolls. Not at all.
I don't like this at all.
Super great.
I
Everything's
think you need to
topsy-turvy.
change your
Becca,
dice.
you told me our roles were going to be switched for this, didn't you?
These
you said that
metallic
with
dice?
your new dice,
Not a fan.
with your
I
new
did.
dice tray or something. You said that that we're going to roll.
Yeah,
Our
my
rolls gonna
loving
be-
husband got me this gorgeous dice tray that I hate because it's jinxed. It's beautiful, and it was loving and kind and perfect, but it's switching our roles.
Okay, so it succeeds on that roll. So what's the damage? Does it take damage on it then?
No, it takes no damage on
Okay.
a success.
Anything else?
But I am going. Yeah, I'm gonna go up and put myself in front of Paolo, if
I
possible.
don't think there's room for that.
There's not room to take his place.
Yeah, you should stay where you are. I
Right.
think I have slightly an idea. So just maybe stay there. Stay where you
Yeah.
are.
Good.
enough.
Hugh, you're up.
Is there space to shove him Apollo out of the way?
You'd have to get through the AI sentries, and then you could get to Paolo, and you would be able to move him, but he's like surrounded by them.
So he's
So
like-
it's like they're backed into a corner, and Vyper's in there too, casting in a line. So it's a lot of people. You'd have to move him at least 10 feet, which would be like 20 feet of movement. You know, if that makes sense.
If Hugh is wading into this room, Paolo is like watching Hugh come into this room is like, oh thank God, just hit him really hard, man.
That's it, yeah. I'm just going to shift and I'm going to hit. Nambi and I are just going to square up. We're going to start with the attack one because you said he was squishy. So we're going to start with that one.
Okay.
Oh, one's a nat 20.
There she is.
Nice.
Second
There she
attack.
is.
There she is.
That's a 19 on the dice, and I forgot what my modifier is. I don't know, like a 27 for the second one.
Okay.
And then Nambi's going to square up, and the third attack is going to be a 24.
Yes.
So-
Hits.
Okay.
Real actual hero.
Yes. Hugh does not miss.
Hugh has adopted all of you because he's very alone. And now he is mad.
So the first
and
one's a
alone.
crit, and then you got two other shots. Okay.
What's easiest for you, Kyle? Do you want him just like one hit at a time?
Sure, if you want. Yeah, we'll do one hit at a time. That's fun. We'll see the crit damage and then the other damage.
Okay, crit damage is 21.
Okay.
And then second attack is going to be 12.
Okay.
And then third attack is 15.
15. Okay. You hit it squarely. The first hit, and then two additional hits. You and then Nambi, wailing on this attack sentry, denting it in its arms, its tentacles. You hit its like body that's humanoid, but mostly just metal. It just feels like you're hitting wiring, and it's got this like fleshy casing to this like arms and legs body that hangs from the middle of it, and it is still standing,
Okay.
but definitely very much less health than what it had.
All right,
Words.
then I'm going
very
to
much
use,
less health than what it had.
I'm going to cringe as I pull out the syringe, and I am going to surge myself with the drugs.
Okay.
He's doing drugs.
I'm going to do it. My action surge drugs.
I do not approve.
And take 3 more attacks.
Okay.
All right, I got 21, a 25, and a 19.
Yes, all three of those hit.
All right, first one is 12.
Okay.
Second one is 8. And then third one is another 12.
12. It had 12 HP exactly left. Exactly. With that final hit, you take Bone Crusher and smash it square in that red eye, and smash that red eye, and it goes dark, and the attack sentry falls to the ground, is dead. That I believe is your turn. Right? Anything else for your turn?
I'm done.
Okay. Paolo, you are up.
Paolo is so proud right now. Paolo's like, beaten to shit, and then Hugh comes in and just wallops on everything, and then like injects himself with some drugs, and then does it again. Paolo's like crying tears of joy. It's like this is beautiful. This is the beginning of like wonderful friendship. So Paolo is going to use Second Wind as his bonus action to gain 1d10 plus 7 hit points back. And that's going to be... Oh, I rolled really good on that. 15 hit points back.
Guys, I'm sorry, but on the video, you will look back on this and see me freak out for a second because I looked over my shoulder.
Yeah.
because I've got Ben Biofuel standing back here and forgot.
Did he fall
so
over?
now I have to show you guys. So this is, of course,
Who's standing back there?
as one does, has a Vin Diesel cardboard cutout, full size. And he's been standing in the corner and I forgot about him. And then I looked over my shoulder and saw a man standing there and freaked out. And so
He just wants to watch, you know?
All right, so while as Paolo uses his Second Wind, a little like section of his right shoulder like lets out a little like gaseous substance, and he uses a dose of grind, which is something that he can do as a toxic Avenger fighter. Whenever he uses Second Wind, he can consume a dose of drugs, and with grind, I'm allowed to add 1d4 to any strength check or strength-based attack roll. So he uses his Second Wind. The drugs enter his system. Lad, I'm sure, is shaking his head, but like you see his like Paolo's eyes dilate immediately, and his like muscles flex. And he looks at this thing that's just savaged him, and he draws strength from the flow of the chemicals in his body. And he is going to wail on this drone that's left in front of him. So he's going to spend his 2 attacks on this drone. So that's 18 plus 1 plus 6 to hit. So that's a 25 to hit.
yes, it will.
I'll do the second roll to hit here. That's a 18 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, so he's gonna do. We got 8, and then another 8, so 16 slashing damage. And how does this thing look?
Less than half good. He's a little bit thicker than the other one.
He's like feeling the flow of the drugs in his system. And so he's going to grab the second surge can that he has, like whatever inhibitions he had before. As soon as that grind hit his system, he was like, "We're in." He slaps it into his injector, and he's going to give himself an action surge, which he will immediately use for another 2 attacks.
Is that your last one?
It is 19 to hit
19 hits.
and 25 to hit.
Both hit.
So we'll do another. Here we go. 9 and 7, so another 16 slashing damage.
16. You hit it for 16 slashing damage, and you lop off one of its arms, one of its tentacles. Anything else for your turn?
No, bonus attack. I'm not moving because my back's up against the control, so he stands tall.
He stands tall, and he does an ability that was not on your intel sheet, on your dossier. And he is going to spin and whirl his tentacles around rapidly. And everybody in there needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
I feel like I've seen this before. It sounds familiar.
Does it? Okay. Lad.
15.
And Hugh.
11.
And Echo.
Oh, 1 sec. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Oh no, Nambi got a 7.
7. Orblit? How does Orblit do?
Okay, Orblit is, oh my gosh, that's +4. So Orblit got a 12.
12. And Vyper.
You said Dex, so I got a 9.
Yeah. 9. Vyper. And Paolo.
11.
11. The only person to save is Landy on that.
Oh dear.
Everybody else fails as he whirls his arms rapidly around. You all take 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and Landy, you take half of that. And as it whirls, it takes, and you see a tentacle hit poor Nambi, and Nambi's echo is gone.
Hugh lets out a blood-curdling roar as Nambi dissipates.
My orblet's up by 1.
1 hit point. Excellent. That's its turn. And Vyper, you are up.
Can I activate, use my reaction when I took that damage and activate my regeneration feature?
Yes, you can.
For the first time that I ever remembered
You
I have
remembered.
it. I remembered. I can heal.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm going to roll my first d4. That's a 3, so I'll get 3 back. And then I get to do that 5 more times because of my con modifier. Oh, I'm growing.
On your turns. Excellent.
Yeah, on my turn.
You start to, you activate that half troll regeneration, and that whirl, one of the scrapes you look starts to heal up. Vyper, yeah, you're up.
Is there room for me to squeeze in and try to hack? Or is it still pretty clustered?
You can't hack right now because it's disabled
Still down.
from your pulse spell.
I feel useless. I'm out of range of that other sentry, right?
Oh no, you can get to him. Yeah, you can absolutely get up to that sentry.
I mean, my orblet. Oh my gosh, I forgot my orblet. So I'm gonna send my orblet over to just touch the sentry and use decompose.
Nice, excellent. Okay.
Can't believe I forgot about that thing. I prepped last time.
Give me this spell attack roll.
Yes, so I rolled an 18 and I have a spell attack bonus of 6, so it's a 24 hit.
That will hit.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
4d8 necrotic. Let's see. Whammies. Okay, that's a 1 whammy, but I got a 15 total.
Orblet touches it, and you can see its metal just starts to rust and decompose and go away. It's still up, but it's not looking very good at all. Anything else for your turn?
Bonus action, I down that dumpling.
Okay, you eat the dumpling. Excellent.
Down it.
Lad, you are up, and this sentry looks very, very bad now.
All right. I'm gonna, for the 3rd time, try a Sacred Flame.
You can do it.
My
That's
lad.
gonna be a Dex
Dex
16.
Dex 16. Natural 1.
Yes.
Give me a crit damage roll on this.
I'm gonna do my best.
Give me a crit damage roll on this failed Dex save.
That would be 15 total then?
Yes, exactly 15 hit points it had left.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it just is, as it decomposed, it was so focused on that, could not miss. Your Sacred Flame hit it and take out the guard sentry. The guard sentry is down. It is quiet in the guard station. You look out the window and don't see, like, you haven't really made a big ruckus. There's nobody, there's no other sentries coming. This is a kind of remote area of this bridge. And the time runs out on the pulse spell, and everything comes back on. And Vyper, you are standing next to the unit where you can hack into it.
I go over to it. I check it for anything suspicious, like
Roll.
traps.
Roll investigation.
Let's go. Okay, that is a 24.
24. You walk up to the panel, and a moment of panic hits you because the panel's different than what you've been practicing. There's a higher DC for this hacking check. You were expecting a DC of 10, a fairly easy check to hack this. This is a different system. You think you can figure it out. Investigation is your hacking check for this.
Anything else I can use?
The DC goes up from 10 to 16 on this, so it's not impossible. You feel like you can figure it out, but the DC is 16 on this hacking check.
Can Orblet help her? Can Orblet provide the help?
Orblet can do some.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm
help
also
action.
proficient in investigation, so I guess Hugh could. I was trying to think of how could Hugh help in this situation?
I don't think
actually.
that I have to rule that Hugh cannot help with a computer.
You can do it. I believe in you. Your fire burns bright.
So advantage either way, right?
Yeah.
Yep, advantage.
Okay.
We'll say it's Orblet
That
coming
one
down to help.
was terrible. So that one was not good also. Okay. That's gonna be, you said investigation, right?
Yes, investigation.
Can I give guidance?
You can.
Add D4.
Okay, cool. That helps. My advantage was a 5 plus 6 investigation, 11 plus, you said D4?
Yeah, you have to roll a D4.
Okay.
Not gonna hit a 16.
It's not gonna hit a 16.
Oh no.
It's a 4. So it's a 15.
15. The system seems to alert a little bit. And then it's like a warning symbol, almost like it's got one check on it that is a security threat, but doesn't activate anything. You can do another hacking check.
I give guidance again.
Okay.
And you can have
I'll
the
let
help from
Orblet help me.
Orblet as well.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Orblet, help me out.
You've
Okay.
broken the hive.
This is already, I had a 16 plus 6, 22 plus guidance.
Excellent. You fail the first time, and the system almost activates and then settles down. As you are hacking into this, you realize you had one more chance. If you had failed a second time, then the alarm would have been breached, but it did not, because you successfully hacked into this guard station and hit the deactivate button, and you can see the massive artillery that's just past this guard station powers down and goes down. And you look ahead at the bridge, and you see the other 2 guard stations, the massive artillery on the next one, and on the third one as well, goes down. All 3 guard stations have been activated by hacking this one node. Something you weren't expecting.
Surprise. Yeah.
And that is where we're going to pause the story and come back next time with you and the Crowning AI Achievement clan. So thank you to all the players this week. Becca, Mav, Landy, and Ballistikitty, thank you for joining us. Their socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of this episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Talltale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord too. Thank you to Adelsperger for our intro music. Thank you to Zaezar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time at the Talltale Tavern.